guys on the box, their job is to take the ammo out when we holler like shell 1,000 yards. They look for a shell and pull it out. They cut the fuse for it to burn for 2.5 seconds or whatever the chart tells them to cut it at. So that when the cannon goes off, it actually sets fire to the fuse. They keep that box shut. For what reason? Because the spark goes in there and 50 pounds of powder goes off. What's going to happen to you and the gun crew? They are actually facing the enemy. One of them with 6 horses on each one of these limbers. The horses are also protecting the limber from incoming artillery rounds and stuff before they hit the box. The main reason they set up like this is for speed and mobility. We need to move these guns. All we have to do is draw the horses up next to the cannon and hook the cannon on the back of the thing. Now the forward wagon and it's out of here. If we were firing at the enemy in the field, which is what we would be, we wouldn't be firing like this in the woods. So they're fired long distances. Once we started firing on the enemy, they found our range and started firing back into us. What would we do? We'd lumber up and move 100 yards somewhere else, start doing it again. So you're moving all over the battlefield, keeping casualties. They were doing the same thing. The guy with the corporal stripe is not standing out by himself. It's the gunner. He's in charge of the gun crew. The guy with the long rammer with the sponge on the end of it is number 1. They go by numbers. Number 1's job is put that sponge down the barrel with water on it, put out any flame that might still be in the barrel, because the next thing that goes down that barrel is a pound of black powder. If there's a spark in there, what's going to happen? It's going to go bang and blow his arms off. So he puts that sponge down through there to make sure that it's good and wet. The next thing he does, he turns it over, he puts the powder in the barrel, and he puts the powder all the way down. That's number 2's job. You notice that when he's loading the cannon, he stands facing you all with his back to the enemy. For the same reason. The bullets are coming in, we want them to hit him, not the powder charge. When he's going around like this, sticking it in, he's using his body as protecting the gun crew. Number 3, the guy's got his thumb on the back of the cannon. There's a little small hole in the back of that cannon. The reason for that is as he's sponging, if you don't have your thumb on that hole to keep any air from going in, when he pulls that sponge out, more air is going to go in that little bitty hole, and it's going to make a hotter fire than it was to begin with, like a blacksmith before. Number 4 is the one that's got the lanyard. He's the one that actually fires the cannon. What makes the cannon go off is this little primer. It's full of gunpowder, and you pull this to make the spark, keeps that flame down in there, makes the powder charge go off. This thing goes straight up and comes down, we know where we're at. You might feel it on top of your head. That's the reason we all wear hats. Stand battery. Number 1 gun, with shell, 1,000 yards, load. Number 2 gun, 1,200 yards, load with shell. Number 3 gun, with shell, 1,500 yards, load. With shell, 1,500 yards. What I just did, I got each one of them going a different distance. These guns are sighted like you do a rifle. I'm trying to find out the distance to the enemy. So I'm going to walk these 3 shells out. And I see which one hits it, then I know I've got the range or not. These guns are accurate up to 2 miles. Ready? Yeah. This is what it shoots. These are rifle guns. These are called parrot rifles. Shoots a long bullet. What they do is they got a percussion cap on the end. When it hits the ground, it goes bang. Unfortunately, they're not very good at that. What if they hit sideways? They don't go off. So then they change it to a paper fuse that they clip off, and have a set fire to it, and it burns for so many seconds before it blows up in the air. Pass that around. It's called a 10-pound parrot rifle for a reason. It weighs 10 pounds. One-time use. Yeah, that's a good question. She said, is that a one-time use thing? We sure hope so. Now, this is where you want to open your mouth and hold your ears. Firing from the right, 2 seconds in roll, commit, fire, fire. guns will come off the ground 12 inches and back 5 feet. You notice all the men stand outside the wheelbase. We use the same drill manual that they used during the war. What you see us doing today is exactly what they did. Now, granted, they do a little faster at it. We do it slowly for a reason. It's called safety. We don't want anybody to lose their fingers out here today. During the war, they didn't care if they lost their fingers. They had somebody to replace them with, right? They could actually fire these guns 3 times or 2 times a minute on a gun crew, particularly firing canisters. Another shell that is used is called a bolt, B-O-L-T. It's nothing more than solid steel. What's the purpose of this? This was to fire at the opposing gun crews to kill the horses, knock the wheels off, some way or another to disable the cannons so they could not be moved and you could capture them. These are the Abrams tanks of the Civil War. That's what you wanted to get. If your infantry unit captured cannons, you got a special privilege. You got to put flags on your flag. You got to put cross the cannons. Not many of them passed out during the war. But you know what they found out? If you fire this at massed infantry as they're attacking you, skip it on the ground just like you would a rock on water, and it goes through the range 2 or 3 miles, killing everything in its path. Now they should find these. With shell, 1,200 yards, low. With shell, 1,200 yards, move, move.
Hello.
The last one. I'll tell you when to do it. Canister is a giant shotgun. There's 120 lead balls in this thing. When they fired it out of these, it's like a giant shotgun taking out 60, 70 people at a time. Now in reality, they would not fire these out of these rifle guns. How many people fired first shot out of a 22? It just stays together because it's rifles. These are made for those big bronze Napoleon guns we all see. That's when they were deadly. What you can do with these guns, you can see the museum and that black barn in the distance, they can hit it all day long. The gun crew hit it all day. Their job is to hit you far away before you ever get close enough. If the infantry got close enough to start shooting us with their rifles, muskets, we would limber up and get the hell out of here. Because our job is to shoot at you a long way off with rifle pieces. Other cannons for close in, and they would still be there. Firing by section, right and center section. Fire! Now you gotta understand, if it's kind of rain or anything, you ain't seen nothing. During this battle, both sides run out of ammunition twice. Each man carried 40 rounds of ammo. Fired 80 rounds. 16,000 Indians were killed in the home range. 200 people killed. 500 were wounded. What's that tell you? They must be over there somewhere that shoot that way. Firing by battery. Load with canisters. Load canisters. Now they can really load faster, can't they? That means somebody's getting close.
Hey. Mm-hmm.
Come here. They're bringing the powder forward. Why is it in leather pouch? Same reason. You don't want a spark getting into that powder charge and carrying it forward. When you take it up to the gunner's looking to see if he brought the canister forward. He's bringing a shell from 1,200 yards. He's checking to make sure they did their job right on the box. Firing my battery.
Who's that?
Oh dear.
Me. Much more better.
You gotta shoot them just a little.
Did you hear it?
Yeah, you gotta get them just a little bit early. When they out of fire, you better fire the camera. They come out just right though.
Did it?
Hell, look at the smoke rolling out of them.
Yeah.
He's got a long brass rod that he actually sticks in that hole in the back of the can to punch with that powder bag before we put that primer in there. Guess what that long brass rod is called? It's called a brick.
I believe some of them birds are freezing there. Look at them.
Three ready?
Uh-oh.
Close your ears, my papa.